Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. Welcome to Bill. Welcome to Slim. That's great news, Bill. And the other great news is we've got a full house tonight again in Friday Night 9-ball. Mark's asking how I am, but he isn't asking in the stream. He's asking in the lobby, so I'm not going to answer him. You'll need to come into the stream to get my answer. Right, now, first things first. We've got a full house. I've already picked out the good match that we're going to watch, but what I'm going to do first is get the important business out of the way. For anybody who doesn't know, let's go to the, what do you call it? The 9-ball World Championships. Well, we'll get some great matches coming up. Every match is great now. We already knew that Stubb was going to play semi-pro tomorrow night. That's at 9:15 British Summer Time, which is 4:15 Eastern, 1:15 Pacific, and Slim's going to be doing that match. Steve may well join him. And then we have the other match between Cobra and One Pocket Slim, of course the hot seat match, and that is on Sunday night at 6 PM British Summer Time. That is 1 PM Eastern, 10 AM Pacific. I'll be there for that one. And then the last match that's been arranged, which has happened in the last sort of 24 hours, I would have thought, is the match on the one loss side between Larry and Nick, and again that'll be a great match to watch. Everything's great now, and that will go ahead on Monday night at 7 PM British Summer Time. What's that? 2 PM Eastern, 11 AM Pacific. So that is all the matches upcoming. Of course, there's very few left, well, who's going to call any of them? You just don't know what's going to happen there. So that's what to look forward to there. And in Friday Night 9-ball, it was full more than half an hour ago. We've got Houdini against Slim. We've got MC Clarkey against Christian. We've got Larry against John Boo. Popman against Tommy. Stefan against Semi Pro. Chimpy against Bedhead. That's the match we're going to be watching. Sergeresh against Vector Dawn, and DJ Redo against Travelling TT. So, welcome anybody I might have missed in the chat while I've had the white screen up. Welcome to Matt. Good luck in the tournament. And we are about, a minute and a half away from another full tournament. This is great how Friday Night 9-ball is getting supported each week. Now, one thing that might be worth mentioning is the next time we see Nick, it might be worth mentioning to Nick to get himself in here on a Friday if we can, and get in the Friday Night 9-ball tournament, because I would like to see him in it and see how he does. He may well not even be aware that the thing's on, but he must remember it from VP3. Well, I'm getting better, but you can whenever I say whenever I try to say P, my cheek blows out the right hand side. But it's actually getting looser. I mean, with my own self-diagnosis that I did, I'm 100% certain it's got to be this Bell's palsy thing, and it can take weeks or a few months for it to clear up. I mean, I don't think there's any medication they can give you for it, other than if you've got problems with your eyes, they'll give you stuff for your eye. My eyes are a wee bit ruddy now and again, but that's nothing. But other than that, it's getting gradually better every day. And I'm still here. So all the players are arriving in. Larry's arrived, Bedhead's arrived, Slim's already there, Tommy's there, and no doubt everybody else will appear, unless somebody forgets all about the bloody thing and then forfeits. So you've got to get in quick for Friday Night 9-ball, especially it's getting to the warmer days and the longer nights, or the longer days I should say, and people are getting in quick and we're getting full tournaments pretty much every week. I think we were maybe 1 or 2 short last week, but you're always going to expect that. But it's still good that we're full again this week. The fact I'm blabbering away here and the bloody rooms are up. Right, so we're going in to watch this match between, who did I say we were going to watch again? I've totally forgotten. Chimpy and Bedhead, that's who. So let's get in. If we can, probably, oh no, they're started. Oh no, they haven't. Bedhead's in on his own, so we'll have the lag for the break. It's Moneyball handicap. We've got the break box in, and Steve eventually changed the time of the tournament to its normal time. Now here's a question for you guys, however many of you are there, but the question is that obviously I've got Steve to change Friday Night 9 Ball the last 2 times the clocks have changed, purely to suit me, because if it starts at this time I can at least stream it all, even though it runs maybe almost 4 hours, and that way I can still get to bed and get up in the morning. But the question I'm asking you guys is that when the clocks go back again in the autumn, in October, that means that if the tournament isn't changed, it then goes to 6 PM. And the question then is do we leave it at 6 PM so that when it goes, the clocks go forward again, it goes back to 7 PM? So it might be worth getting a poll on that as to whether that suits guys, because obviously the guys in the States like Larry, that's even earlier in the afternoon for them. Right, well that's 1 vote against. I'll go with that, Slim. So we have player 1 in the HUD is Chimpy, and he's getting the last 2. Now, of course, last 2 with players of this standard I don't think really is that important, because they're going to run tables anyway if the balls are there, so it's not really a major issue. It's about who gets in and makes the most of it. So ball in the break was the 6, and I think there's not quite a shot in the 1. Going to have to tweak it a bit and try and cheat it, and he has done. That was well played. I'm just going to check my little doodle, if I can find the button for it, whatever the hell it is again. Where is it now? I've totally forgotten. There it is. Let's check my little doodle's working. Let's see if this thing works. That and that. That works. There's another thing it does, I can't remember what buttons you press, it brings up circles and stuff. Is it Alt? No, it's not that. Let me try. Of course, if I read the instructions I would know. It might be Alt. No, it isn't. Right, I've totally forgotten what it is. We'll worry about that later. So Chimpy's pretty nice stuck in the 4 ball. This is another one of these easy ones. Yeah, very difficult to judge. And of course Bedhead hasn't remapped his replay key. What a numpty. Again, I always remap my replay key to the back button, which is above your enter key, and that way you don't accidentally hit it. But nobody listens to me. I've been saying that for years. The first thing you do is remap your replay button, send it to the back button above your enter button, and it's well out of the way of where your hand is when you're using the keyboard. Because when it's over where your WASD is and the R's very close to it, then you're going to hit the replay button by mistake. Yeah, I didn't answer you in the lobby, Mark, because that forces you having to come into the stream. That's why I ignored you. Yeah, I've changed the mute button about 3 times, and I still hit it. As I said earlier, Matt asked me how I was doing. I says it's getting a bit looser, but whenever I say pee, my cheek blows out because the muscle still, the muscle control still not good enough yet, but it is getting better. So in order to say my I can't even say it like that. If I try to say pee, if I hold my lip with my forefinger, it works. Welcome to Tommy. So, first blood to Bedhead. Now, there's guys that are late here arriving. I did go through the schedule for the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. We'll get the match with Semi-Pro and Stub tomorrow night at 9:15 British Summertime. One Pocket Slim will be streaming that because I won't be able to do it. I will watch the first 45 minutes of it or so. And then I'll have to go to bed and I'll catch the end of it when I get home from work tomorrow, or Sunday. And then on Sunday we have the hot seat match. I forgot what time it was. Was it 7 o'clock Sunday? It's either, I think it's 7 o'clock British Summer Time. The hot seat match with One Pocket Slim and Cobra. And then we've got the one lost side match with Larry and Nick round about the same time on Monday night. So be there or be square, not to be missed. Some great matches to look forward to. And meanwhile, Bedhead looking to open up a gap. Never thought a streamer would make it that far. Don't talk crap, Slim. And don't go into this match thinking this is as far as you're going to get in the winner's side. You'll get a very good chance to take out Cobra. Just apply yourself the same way you did in the previous match. And don't miss. That's the best advice I can give you. So, Bedhead looking good here for 2-0. This needs to run. It needs to keep going. That'll do it. Oh, I had fish and chips for my dinner with onion rings on the side, and it was lovely. I'll probably fall asleep in the next half an hour. I was absolutely starving. Good old fish and chips. So 2-0 and balls to break for Bedhead. The 3 and 4's gone. And I think he can get to that one. Or can he? No, as a matter of fact, Mark. It was actually from the local Indian. The local Indian called A1 Tandoori. You know, they do everything. But they also do European dishes and stuff. But I had like 500 points worth of loyalty points that I hadn't used. I've been with them for a good 2 or 3 years and I'd never used a loyalty point. So I thought, you know what I fancy tonight? I fancy the fish and chips that they do, because they actually do it lovely, because it's obviously fresh made. And they put it in breadcrumbs. You get 2 nice big bits of cod, or what do you call it? Not cod, what's the other one? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's either that or that, but they're freshly made, fresh chips, and then a side dish of onion rings. And that only cost me, with all my points that I had, that's the word, and that only cost me £7, because I had a whole stack of bloody loyalty points to use. So that for the fish supper and the onion rings, £7 for my dinner tonight. And it was, I'll tell you, there's nothing better than when you're absolutely starving and you you fancy something to eat and you get it and it's delicious. Well, Sergeresh hasn't showed up tonight because Spectre Don's got a bye. Well, that's given Spectre an easy start. He hasn't had to break sweat. Talking about breaking sweat, Chimpy's not looking good here at the moment. I don't think, I mean, he's not put a foot wrong other than that dodgy 4-ball, remember, which was nowhere near easy, and I think that's the only ball he's missed, and since then he's not had a sniff, he's not had a shot, I don't think. Yeah, and if I'd got that fish supper from the chippy, it'd be £9 odd, just for it on its own. I bet you a fish supper down south, down in Leicester, I bet you a fish supper down there's about £12. I'm willing to bet it's about £12. We think they're expensive up here at £9. Yeah, £14. I'm not surprised. And then if you go to the likes of London, it'll be proper rip-off prices. London, Birmingham. Well, there's a mistake from Bedhead. That's exactly what Chimpy needed. £14 for a fish supper. Unbelievable. Oh dear. Well, it was fairly tight. And there's Chimpy's second shot of the match as far as I can recollect. And it might be his last one for a little while. And this is coming in a decent line if it opens up, but it hasn't. And now it's a world famous bedhead cut. Oh, mushy peas, yeah. Oh God, that's got me going now. Mushy peas. You can't beat mushy peas. Oh, there's another chance for Chimpy. Another mistake from Bedhead, and this time, no doubt, Chimpy will get himself off the mark. I'm actually feeling quite perky after that dinner, because I really enjoyed it. And of course, when I got it in, put my 2 bits of fish in the plate before I put the chips on, then I got my tartar sauce out, my little jar of tartar sauce, lobbed 2 big splodges of that on the fish. Oh, lovely. Cannot beat it. So, Chimpy off the mark, 1 ball in the side, and I don't think he's got much of a shot in this 2-ball. I mean, okay, it will cut, but I think it's, well, let's just put it this way, it ain't easy. And he looks as if he's trying to just bump into the 3 and hold it. And that'll do. I mean, Bedhead is going to struggle to jump that. And the one thing about this shot is if Bedhead doesn't move the 2, the 7 and the 9, he's more or less going to be locked up for 3 fouls attempt. Well, it must be, oh, what, getting on for 40 years since I was at Skeggy. They still got the big Butlins there. It was Butlins that was there, wasn't it? It wasn't the other place. I'm sure it was Butlins that was at Skeggy. That's a good attempt. So now Chimpy has to decide, is he going for the 3 fouls because he should have Bedhead absolutely nailed here, or is he going to go for the run out? Now, the 7-ball is not a gimme. It's not that simple to get on the 7. So he's got to be 100% certain that he can get the job done, and if he doesn't, he should have nailed him to start with. So he's going for it. What, you going to the caravan site, or are you towing the caravan with you? You going to park it up? What, are you going for the weekend, or are you going for the full week? Bearing in mind the weekend starts tonight rather than Saturday till Wednesday. Well, he's got a nice line in this 6 ball, and he's just got the line on the 7. So that, oh dear. Well, no wonder he's annoyed, because that was and he's knocked a 9 in, but that doesn't matter. He's annoyed at that. Now, it all looked easy when he got on the 7 ball. I bet he's cursing, because he didn't get through the shot there at all. And it's going to be 4-1. Should have been 3-2. Big 2-rack swing there. Self-inflicted damage. Now just think of what it could have been if he'd nailed him onto that 7 ball with ball in hand and had him in 2 fouls possibly. You live or die by the decisions you make. He couldn't get the run out done. It looked odds on he was going to do it, and then he totally messed up getting that cue ball out for the 8. Well, Bedhead 4-1 and 2 ball in the break. I don't know whether he can see the 1. Let's have a look. No, he can't. And he'll be lucky he catches any of this 1 ball. Oh yeah, just caught it. And the spin is bringing it back round. Oh dear. Well, Chimpy can jump it, but can he keep the cue ball on the table? No. Well, he decided against jumping it, and he's going to pay the price again. Surprised he didn't have a go at that there. But, you know, I think he'd have been... Well, the kick was better as far as making sure that a ball wasn't going to go off the table, but the jump was better as far as actually potting the ball goes. I think it would have been more worth the risk jumping it, considering he's 4-1 down. Because the obvious thing about the kick is he was never guaranteed he was going to leave it safe. I think he should have tried to jump that. Oh yes, he'll be really annoyed. I'd be annoyed. But it isn't over. As long as Bedhead's short of the finishing line, he's still got a chance. Now, what's happened to Tommy? Tommy was in the stream, but for some reason he's ended up forfeiting to Potman. I don't know what the hell's went on with that match. And Bedhead can't stop potting balls in the break. Look at this. This is out. I mean, what was he potted there? The 1's gone, the 4's gone, the 6 is gone, the 7 is gone, the 2 is on, and this is dead simple. He's going to be in the hill, that's a guarantee. And another result, Larry, comfortable win against John Boo. So just get out into line on this 8 ball. Well, he can go forward, he can just draw back. Well, Tommy rage quit. What, did you get lucky, Pop Man? What, you were getting a 6 ball? So Chimpy has it all to do. Bedhead has come up dry, and there's a good place to hide that cue ball. Well, he's went all out to break the balls up. He's fluked the 4. He's still on the 1, and he's fluked that as well. I think Chimpy's gone for the capo route tonight. I think he's given up. And Semi-Pro has taken out Stepan 7 racks to 1. So some heavy defeats here early on, and this looks like another one. This looks like a 7-1 as well. It's not like the Germans to lose their cool, is it? The Germans are usually cool under pressure. Well, this is just the formalities of this rack. Chimpy will want to forget this one and just try and survive on the 1 loss side. Now, well, he's going to dig in and just come across the table nice and firm. Oh no, I've seen Popman play recently, and he definitely needs a 6 ball. How's this 9 ball looking? That's fine. So, comfortable win for Bedhead by 7 racks to 1. Right, so we've had, what the hell's happened here? How did I end up getting into the Tommy John Boo match? Did you? That is absolutely weird. That is weird. All I did was come out of the match with Bedhead and Chimpy, and suddenly I'm in John Boo and Tommy's match. That's crazy. Let's see if we can get out of the bloody room now. I've never seen that happen before. Anyway, so we've got Houdini and 1 pocket Slim. Houdini is getting 5 and out, and Slim is 3-2 up, or 4-2 up. And there's 1 more match, DJ Redo and Travelling TT are 2 racks all, so that just shows you how quick some of the matches have gone when some guys have only played 4 racks. So we've now got Semi-Pro up against Bedhead, And we've got Popman up against Larry. And Popman is getting the 5-ball, so we're going to get into that match. Let's see how good Popman does when he's under pressure. So we're in the first rack. Popman at the table. And if he doesn't get cover, he's cutting this one towards this left corner pocket. You know, Larry's going to have a sight on this one ball if he doesn't get up table. Well, he may well have went for the pot. But Larry will be going for the 3-9 combo in a second, and I don't think Popman actually, well, I think he was pinning all his hopes on the 1-ball because he was nowhere near the 3-ball for a start. And Larry's just going to combo this in if he can. Not easy at this distance, especially when it's a sort of blind cut. Very easy for that 9-ball just to get around the jaws. And he's played it well. And Popman walked into that trap. And he set it himself. He had to get that cue ball right up in the corner. So Larry off and running. And will Popman get the use of that 5-ball? 8-ball goes in the bottom right hand corner. 6-ball goes in the side. Larry's on the 1. And he's out. It's going to be 2-0 with this table. Larry would need to be in a generous mood to be giving this table back to Popman. I don't see it happening. You know, if this ends up looking like a bloodbath to Larry, we may well jump across to the semi-pro bedhead match. It's not looking good at the moment this early on. Well, it's a bit straight in the 5. Well, Popman did have a sniff. He had a sniff on that 1-ball to pot it, which I'm not sure whether he went for the safety. Judging by where he finished in the 3-ball, I think he might have went both ways with it and never get either. And meanwhile, I think Larry's had another ball in the break with the sound of it, and it's the 6-ball has gone. He's got the cut in the 1. Now, he may well duck for cover here. He's trying to spin in behind that 4 up top on the right. That's what he's, I think, trying to do. No, he's went for the cut. And that was always a problem with that, because he had to avoid traffic. Now he's in trouble. Well, I'm surprised that he didn't just duck for cover behind that. Is it the 4-ball or the 8-ball that's up there? It's the 4-ball. It looked a lot easier to get behind the 4-ball than it did to play the cut and find a way down to the 2. Now, Popman can do the same thing here. He can get in behind that 4-ball. The 2 will cut, obviously, but if this was me, I'd be ducking in behind the 4 and banking that 2 back up the table. Well, he's got the 2, and he's reasonable on the 3-ball. So he's only got the 3 balls to pot to get off the mark. Now this just needs a little dab. I mean, he can run across the rail. You see, he's gone, he's still got the cut. And then, so this is all just about touch, because you're going to come off the long rail and back out. And the face looks good, but he hasn't made the 4, so again, he had a chance to put Larry in trouble behind the 4. He went for the out and he can't get it done. That's why Potman needs a 5 ball. And that's also why he needed the 6 ball against Tommy. Right, well, it's 3-0 to Larry. I think the right move here is to let the bloodbath continue, and we will jump into this match with Semi-Pro and Bedhead. So, Semi-Pro off and running 2-0. Bedhead is getting, Semi-Pro is getting the last 2. Bedhead, in fact, I still don't think that would have been a great shot anyway, even if it hadn't caught the point. Because I think Semi-Pro would still been able to get to the 2 ball within this area here. That's where the 2 ball was headed. But I don't know whether he can get enough to cut it. He can. Now, once again, what I'd be doing here is overcutting the 2, sending it that way into the 6, cue ball off the rail and back down here, somewhere down this direction, and try and use the 5, the 9 and the 3. Well, he hasn't hit it. I would have still liked it down here, but that'll do. I mean, he's got the cover, that was a priority, but it's not a difficult kick though. You know, if he'd got into a better line sort of down this way, it wouldn't be quite as easy to kick at that 2 ball. Oh, chance now for Bedhead. Little dinky draw off this 2. I don't know whether he can hold it well enough. And I don't know whether he can draw into the 5 and 9 and hold for the 3 that way. It's hard to judge when you're not actually played the shot. Let's see what you can come up with. Another result through. Tommy has survived at least one match in the 1 loss side. And that was well done. He's managed to hold it. He's now the wrong side of the 3, so he's now got to either cut it into the corner, which is not easy. If he cuts it into the side, he's got to avoid traffic, so he's taking a more difficult shot to give him the best chance of getting on this 4. He might pot the 4, and that's what he didn't want. He didn't want that. He obviously wanted to keep the 4 there so he could just run in behind the 8 and down for the 5. Now he's in trouble. Because the 5 doesn't go that side. It obviously can cut, I think, that way, but again, it is really, really tough. And he's trying to duck for cover behind the 9. And that'll do. Although, will it do? Because Semi-Pro's got enough room to jump. And I would expect him to get this. This is still tricky to judge. Because this, I mean, the 6th ball goes. The thing is whether he can get enough in it. Yes, he has done. That was well done. So, he's going to be off the mark. We might have a match on. So I presume everybody's happy with the stream quality. I haven't heard any complaints. Good evening to Cobra. And Bedhead has a Defy ball in the break. He's sitting pretty good in the 1. And, well, this is the important shot straight away, is just getting good on this 3 ball. 4 ball is handily close to the 3. Now, well, he's got room to come around for the 4, and he's putting left English on this at the moment. Now he's going the other way, so he's going 2-3 rails here. Yeah, on Gamecaster I'm always in 1080. No, he's just gone the 2 rails, but that's pretty good. So he should just roll this in dead weight. And it just wiped its feet and went in at the last breath there. Well, before Steve done that last update, there's no way that ball would have dropped. It would never have dropped. So it's looking good for 2 apiece here. Rack number 5, another result through, and Slim's taken out Houdini by 7 racks to 5. And the cue ball has gone in, and semi-pro will have no shot in the 1 basically, other than trying to lock up Bedhead here, because he can't, I don't think he can get to the 1 anyway to pot it. Can he? Can you get it? I don't think he can. No, he's just going to have to nail him to the 6. And another result through. Chimpy has survived on the 1 loss side, a 4-0 win against Stefan. And that's the right shot. You know, the table wasn't quite wide open, but Bedhead decided just to play the deliberate foul and just make it a bit of a mess for semi-pro to deal with to get the run out. I would have probably done something similar just to, make it awkward. But it's also a place to hide the cue ball. What you're really trying to do is just give yourself a lifeline possibility when it gets down to the nitty gritty in this rack. Now he's a bit straight in this 2 ball. This is not great. You're going to have to bump this in firm. And now he's got a choice here. Get good on the 4 to make it easier to get better on the 5 to try and break these balls up. And he's not good on the 4 for a start. But if he gets the 4 and he can come down here, let's have a look. Someone like that to about there and pot that 5 in there and get in there and get the bump. I think he's going too straight, or has he? Let's have a look. No, he's got a slight angle, but he's going to have to force this in with a bit of right English, I think, to even if he catches a rail. No, what is he playing a combo? I don't think he is. And DJ Redo has beaten Travelling TT 7 racks to 3. I'm not sure what he was planning here. Well, if Bedhead's going to use the far rail, he's going to have to spin it up a bit, because I don't know whether the line is the line there. Well, he thinks it is, but the line he was taking was only catching the edge of that 6, and so Semi-Pro is getting his reward. And he should be back in the lead. Again, checking the cue ball up just to deflect the line back over the right side. And of course he's getting last 2, so he just needed the 8 ball anyway. So 3-2 to Semi-Pro with the break. And a ball immediately into the corner pocket. Haven't a clue what one it was, but he's on the 1. And that 8 ball has just made it slightly awkward. If the 8 ball was out the way, he'd be good to go here. But the 2 ball's tight past the 7. But that 2-8 can certainly be made. He's just got to cut it a line slightly just so it doesn't catch the jaw. And I don't know whether he'll bump the 3. I think he will bump the 3. You've just got to cut this slightly onto the 8 just to make sure it goes into the pocket and doesn't just run to the jaw. Oh, he hasn't hit it, has he? He hasn't hit it. And he wouldn't have been on the 3 either. And now what does Redhead do here? Because he's not really got a combo. He could play a really delicate touch shot and dink the 2 and just nudge in behind the 4, but that's really touchy. He's fairly close to the rail. He could jack up and just give it a smack and try and draw into the 8. But he's done what I thought he would do. And I think that 5 ball is partially in the way there for the good line to get to that 2 ball. Yes, it is. And he's come in behind it. And now Bedhead has suddenly become favourite to square the match up here. Oh dear, commentator's curse. That's a big no-no. And that is not a good shot. I mean, that 2-ball was not difficult for a player of Bedhead standard. And he's thrown it right back to semi-pro, although it's a really thin cut. Cue ball's running all over the shop. Oh, he's playing the combo instead, and now he's going to regret it. And Bedhead has been handed it on a plate. Well, he got out of jail there. Three apiece. Where's the cue ball going? And immediately he hands it back to semi-pro for a 1-9 combo. This rack's going to be over quick. Semi-pro says, Hugh, bugger off. Well, it wasn't me that missed the ball in hand 1 in the 9. I'm only here as a witness. But the match has turned again in the space of one shot. Semi-pro redeemed himself with the next 1-9 combo for the lead. And this is not easy. He's got to control this to get that cue ball out of there. Or you just drop it in and leave a long pour. One of the two, because the 5 ball's not difficult to get on. Oh, tell a lie, I forgot that was a 1 ball in the rail. I was thinking that was a 9 ball again. That's me made the same mistake I make all the time. I thought that was a 9 ball on the right hand side. It's a 1. He had no real shot, so he just played the push out. Well, that's not a great shot either by Bedhead, because there might be enough room to get that 1 ball. Oh, there is. There's plenty of room to play the 1 onto the rail and just catch the 5. So a dead weight so that the cue ball rolls through and stays on the 1. A bit like that. That'll do nicely. I'm looking at my YouTube stream at the moment. There's like a 4-second delay. So again, a reminder to anybody that's watching, whether you be on YouTube or Twitch, just refresh your stream every 15 minutes. Make sure that you're as up to date as you can be. Well, this might be the breakthrough that semi-pro needs. He's going to have a 2-rack lead here in a minute, because he only needs to get this from the 7 to the 8. And I'll have a quick drink. Now, if you guys were watching the stream last night, what did you think of that rule that Steve was talking about in 10 ball? With the notion of bringing it in as an option in VP4. What was it he said again? That when you break off in 10 ball, you have to play a safe or something like that. You can't pot a ball. I can't remember what he said. Something along those lines. Some sort of Filipino rule. Well, look at where the 9 ball is. and where the cue ball's going, oh dear, what a numpty shot that was. And it's another gift for semi-pro. Well, he's had 2 out of 3 combos in the night. Handed it in the plate. Semi-pro on the hill. Now, I think the one goes past. Yes, it does. There's just a little gap. Just enough room past that 8 and 6. And this is going to have to travel. Well, it's a big jack up and a big dig in the cue ball here to come back up across the table, or he's... Well, now I'm not sure what he's doing. Is he trying to cut the 3 onto the 4? Or is he playing the bank? Well... Well, he can kick the 3. Now, let's just get round here. He can kick the 3 onto the 8. The 8 goes to the rail, catches the 9 and knocks the 9 in. Well, he had the idea. It didn't quite get the line, and I think he hit it at that pace just to try and get balls away from the pocket in case he didn't get it. And the 4 ball's dead where it's sitting. I don't think it's going anywhere fast. That is horrible again. Well, it's hard to work out. You know, obviously Steve keeps things close to his chest as far as what plans he's got for VP4, if any. He did mention on the stream about graphic changes and stuff like that, but I think that was only sort of passing time. But anything like that is a big project, and I don't know whether he's got the notion to do anything like that. And Larry has overcome Popman by 7 racks to 3. And Semi-Pro has got the pot on the 4, get the cue ball around and on the 6, and this match is over. What's happening in the snooker? Has anybody got the snooker on ITV4? And give me an update on whether Ding's coming back into it or whether Karen Wilson's running away with it. Well, in the end, a weird, comfortable victory for Semi-Pro. He can't complain. He had 3 combos in the night, 2 of which went in. The 2 that he did get were both gifts from Vedhead, so the Swedes have been very generous tonight. Right, so let's catch up with where we've got to here. We've got One Pocket Slim against MC Clarkey. We're going to jump straight in. Slim with a 4-2 lead, scratch match, and he's about to go 5-2. In what way, Larry? Now the question about graphics, right? I remember when we did the testing, Larry, that he did do a graphics test where he tried to improve the shadows under the balls, but you know, it wasn't anywhere near properly optimised, and it was causing lag, and it looked as if the balls were floating off the bed of the table. Well, we have, I mean, that has been mentioned to him, but I doubt very much whether that would be at the top of his agenda for the next set of fixes. But you know what he says, contact support and write it into him. And I mean, it's been said to him a good number of times over the years. Well, Matt has got work to do. Now, he could try going to the rail. You know, if this was a cowboy game, you can go to the rail and bump the 6. And that wasn't what I had in mind. But you've got to get the line off the pot to bump the 6. And he's just trying to duck. And he hasn't got the cover. Well, this is a gift of an opportunity for Matt. Slim bump to 5 into the 6 and just left it all wide open for him. Well, this is just a sort of gentle roller. You roll to the top rail, whatever you want. And Matt could do with a nice little break and run out here just to get back in this. And the cue ball's gone. And just exactly what you don't want. And, well, we say it all the time, the balls are all open. A player of Slim standard should be getting the job done. And he'll be getting to the hill. And all the rest of these balls, the 6, 7 and 8 are all handy, where the cue ball doesn't have to travel a great distance to get on each of them. So this is a gimme pretty much for Slim. Yeah, I mean, going back to the graphics thing, I mean, to me, a graphics overhaul for VP4 is a complete rebuild of what you see in the backgrounds and everything, more modern looking rooms and all of that stuff. You know, just to copy Shooter's Pool, because Shooter's Pool has got much better rooms than what this place has got. But at the end of the day, it's down to how the game plays. Well, we all seem to prefer VP4. Shooter's Pool offers the players a lot more options and playing the game to an easier level to suit them and their mates, which is why it's getting over 100 odd folk in the lobby every day. And VP4 isn't going to go down that route, which could be a reason why we don't get as many players. If you want to set your room with tracking lines for you and your mates, then you can set it with tracking lines if you're playing at a low level and you need that sort of help. This is too hardcore for a lot of players. That's the problem with the online. I keep saying it. Well, somebody a long time ago in the Celerus forum, when there was a post about requesting features for VP4 when VP4 was in development, I remember somebody posting, I want an applause button so that when somebody plays a nice shot they get a round of applause. Well, Steve never brought it into the game, but I brought it into the stream. No, I've always got the backgrounds on. I never had the backgrounds on in VP3 because the backgrounds were that crap. Especially in the snooker room. Well, they are. That's when this game came out, wasn't it? The game's been out for what, 11 years now. The 2012, 2013. Well, I never noticed Sharky was there. What is it you hate in Shooters Full, Larry? The graphics? Welcome to Semi-Pro. Oh, the applause in Shooters Full. I forgot about that. Aye, now they've got applause. They've got an audience in Shooters Full. If the game deems it a good shot, you hear the applause. I think my applause are better though. Yeah, I don't think you get it in that country house one. You know, the one which is one of the free rooms. That sort of country house where you can hear birds or something out in the yard. I don't think you get the applause in that one. I couldn't tell you what other ones you get it in because I hardly can hear the place. So, Matt back to within two, but he's in last chance saloon. He's in the ball in the break. Seven's gone, but no shot in the one. So Houdini's taken out. Christian's taken out Houdini. Well, Serganesh, did he not forfeit his first match? I'm sure he did. He's turned up for the one loss side and he's beaten travelling TT 4-0. Well, you know what I would like in VP4? I would like, I've moaned about this for years. I would like that when the game was under development, they'd actually put more effort into making the snooker table look a lot better, and it doesn't. The snooker tables in Shooters Full are far better finished than they are in VP4, with the ball rails and everything on them. VP4 and VP3's never had that. I would like your cloth colours to stay the same way you chose them for each table, and it doesn't do that, which is more annoying. You know, if you go into hard times and you set the green cloth for the snooker table, when you change it to the 9-ball table, it's the green cloth. But when you're on the 9-ball table, you set it to the blue cloth, and then you go back to the snooker table. The snooker table is blue cloth. That's a silly thing that annoys me. You should be able to choose whatever cloth colours you want for each individual table, and it saves them. No, they don't stay the same, Mark. They do not stay the same. Well, I'll correct myself. You're right enough what you said. They stay the same, but they stay the same no matter what table you're on. Do you not understand what I'm talking about? I would like to have the green cloth for the snooker table and the blue cloth for the pool table in hard times, right? So if you're playing snooker in hard, it doesn't matter what room you're in, by the way. I'm only using hard times in as example. If you're playing snooker, right, and you're on the green cloth in snooker, and then you switch it to the 9-foot pool table, you will have green cloth, and then you have to switch it to blue cloth, right? And then when you're finished playing 9-ball pool and you go back to snooker, you have to switch it to green cloth again. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, after all of that, Slim's gone through it by 7 racks to 4. Matt, what do you mean you disagree? You trying to tell me that my game's broken and yours is fine? I can guarantee you that when you go and play snooker on the snooker table in hard times and you set the cloth to green and then you decide you want to play 9-ball instead, I bet you the cloth's the same colour. It doesn't save them. Anyway, Slim marches on. We need an update here on what's happening. We've got Slim against Larry next. We've got Semi-Pro waiting on the winner of Spectre Dawn and DJ Redo, and it looks as if it's going to be Spectre Dawn because he's up 6-2. Quick look at the one loss side. We've got Chimpy 2-1 down to Popman. Popman getting whatever it is, I can't read it. Sergresh has just started with Matt. We've got Tommy against Bedhead. Tommy looks as if he's 3-0 up. So Bedhead looks as if he's going to be struggling. So we'll nip into that match. And Popman is 3-1 up on the hill against Chimpy. And Popman getting a 5-ball. Oh, the toys might come out the pram here as well. Because he's had the 3-ball, the 6-ball, he's on the 1, and this is just, oh, and Chimpy's bailed. And the toys have come out of the pram. Oh dear. Yeah, the German and the Dutch have lost their heads tonight. Tommy threw the toys out the pram earlier on against Popman, and Chimpy's done the same. You got to laugh. Right, anyway. That's that match over. I think this match is over as well. That's why we're probably can't get in the room all we are in. So what's the score? 3-1 to Tommy. Well, this just needs a little dinky draw. sort of dinky draw. I think he's got to dig into this a wee bit, even though he has got a cut, just to try and keep that cue ball there. Now that's why he's missed the 3 though. He got the right idea, but he's missed the 3 because of it. And Bedhead has been given a lifeline. Mark, are you still there? Mark's probably gone as well. Tell Chimpy he's a big girl's blouse. He'll know what I mean by that, even though he is Dutch. Oh, this 4 ball was going in, and the cue ball got in the way. It was going to bank up the table there. And look at this. Look at this for a result. And I think Tommy will settle for that. I mean, I don't think he's got him hooked, but in fact, this will thin cut into the side, and it will bank. I think he's going for the bank. Yep, he's got enough room to get to it. And that was well done. And this cue ball is perfect in the 5. I'm sure he can stun across, but you know, when you stun them and you hit them at that pace, you've got to get them pure and clean. There's the cue ball. He's okay. Has Chimpy done a runner? Is that him away for the night? You never know. The way Popman's going, he might end up winning this. If everybody just takes the huff because he's getting a 5 ball. Well, we've got a match on here still. Remember, of course, just a race to 4, so blink of an eye and it could all be over. Well, the brake is dry. Tommy has a cut in the 1. Oh, and he's okay. Heading towards the pocket, but he's got the cut. Now this has got to be another tricky little shot. He's got to dig in, dink that 2 up the rail, and a nice little bump in the 4. I don't think it's done him any harm because he's got a nice little angle in the 3 just to get into the gap. And well, first and foremost here, he's got to get high up in this 5 ball. He's got to get up the table, even if he's up at the 8 ball. He's got to get up there. So that makes it a lot easier to get good on the 6. And he can come across the table for the 6 ball in the same pocket, or he can dink this in, whatever he wants to do. And that's nice pace. So it looks as if Tommy, I'm a tempted fate here, he should be out. Spectre Don has taken out DJ Redo, 7 racks to 3. And, oh, I only needed the 7 ball. I forgot about that. I never even looked at the HUD. So Tommy goes through. Bedhead has to try again another day. I can get this to work. Right. So, Semi-Pro's now got his opponent, but we're going to jump in to that top match, and we'll find that Slim is 2-0 up against Larry, and Larry's getting the last two again. It doesn't matter that he's getting the last two. And the 9 ball has gone in the break. The 9 ball will come up. Slim's got a thin cut in the 1. And he should have some sort of shot in the 2, because the cue ball's heading up towards the 9. Somewhere in that direction. And a bump in the 9 like that is perfectly good. Commentator's eye never lies. Well, he now wants to hit this firm. No, he's dinking through for it on the short side. He could have hit that firm to come down that way. It's a wee bit more tricky. Yeah, and that's why he should have stunned it down. And he's got out of jail. No, I thought it was more comfortable to stun that in and get down onto that 3 ball than leaving it in the short side and leaving an awkward angle cut. And Slim is going to get away with it because he's left dead on the 3. And now he's got to work the cue ball if he's going to take this 5 ball anywhere else other than playing a 5-6 combo. And he didn't want to run into the 9. Well, now he's got a straight choice. And Sergeresh, a 4-0 win against MC Clarkey. So Matt goes home early. And that's gone to the rail too soon. And so Larry will be off the mark here, getting last 2. So we've not been on for 90 minutes yet. We're, what, 79 minutes of there or thereabouts, and the matches are rattling through. Of course, all those 7-1 victories early on helped. Now, does he want to leave an 8-9 combo, or does he want to get up top? Watch the cue ball. And now it will have to be an 8-9 combo, not as planned, but that's what it's going to be. I don't care what anybody says, when you're playing a shot like this offline, it is nowhere near easy. And that 8 ball's not going to run far enough, is it? Well, it will cut. Again, to cut it, you've got to hit it at pace. You can reverse bank it into this corner pocket. And I think that's what Slim's looking at. Oh, it's went to the rail too soon again, and Larry has got the gift of potting the 8 ball to get off the mark. It's dry. And well, Slim can try cutting that up the rail and bumping into the 3 and going in, but he got it too thick. Easy kick in for Larry, and the cue ball needs to miss the 3, which it has done, and it had to miss the 2 as well, which it hasn't. But he's got it down table here. This should be fairly straightforward to get on the 3. And well, now it looks as if if he hits this hard enough, well, he's found a gap. I think he got a wee bit lucky there. As he'd run into the 9, he'd have been dead in the water, but he's got a shot. And that's gone to the rail way too soon. And now that looks far too long to jump. Larry's, well, Slim's going to give it a go. Big distance. Well, what do I know about jump shots? That was well done. Going to have to pull out another good one though. Try to duck in behind that 8, but he hasn't got there, I don't think. And the bank might be on here. It doesn't look great. Is he going for it? Well, it's absolutely perfect. Again, what do I know about banks? Just off the rail far enough. And that's perfect. So, 2 apiece here. Well, that could have, of course, what am I talking about? I forgot again, he only needed the 8 ball. Oh, 5 ball gets kicked in. And he's hooked behind a 9. Yeah, that was too close. Well, Slim has a possible one. It's a similar idea to the shot Larry had. Something similar, because again, it's a blind combo he's playing. No, he's not. He's just trying to duck. And again, he hasn't got it. Well, the one good thing is the bank's definitely not on this time. And Larry trying to get up towards that 3 and 4 up the top of the table. Now that double kissed there, so it did, which actually hasn't really done him any harm, but that's exactly what happened. That's why the cue ball ended up going straight up the table instead of coming off the rail and spinning up. You get the little double kiss, but Slim's come up with a reasonable response, and it's definitely too close to jump over the edge of that, I think. I don't think Larry thinks he can do it, so he's going for the kick. Oh, where's the 1 ball going? Oh, I think the 1 ball might have been going to the pocket, and the cue ball just bumps it off the rail. That 1 ball was going very close to the corner. Well, what about that for a shot? You got to laugh. There's no way he played that. He's caught the edge of the 2 with the 1 ball and it drops into the side. Well, he's got a nice angle in the 3 just to stun up or go to the rail and come out. And how much has he got to work with here? Well, he's got a wee bit, and he's got enough to get some juice into this. And that will do very nicely indeed. So he'll just come up this side of the 8 ball. Because he's stuck to the rail, he'll just let the cue ball run out. And most certainly, Slim is going to go back into the lead, but a bit jammy, getting a little fluke. They all come in handy though. I always say it doesn't matter about the fluke, it's what you make after it that counts. and running out is the best possible outcome. Well, this is sounding very dry to me again. And it is. But once again, Larry's stuck to the rail with a jump escape and a possible pot, but not much chance of getting decent in the two. In fact, very little chance of getting decent in the two. So now he's got to come up with something that can be deemed as a reasonable safety. Is he trying to billiard the 5 in? He's digging in here. He might be trying to billiard the 5 in. No, he's not. He's just trying to hold behind the 7 or the 9, but he hasn't got there. Now, well, that would just need to be a complete waft to catch the edge of that 2 to cut it in. He didn't get into it enough, got it too thick. And Larry has got the 2 ball. Now, how does he leave this cue ball? Well, he's fine. He just needs to roll through here or kill it stone dead, and he'll have the cut in the 3. Well, again, fairly confident in saying we should be all square. And the same rule here for Larry. When he pots this 5, he's got to get right up past the side pockets on that right hand side. He needs to go high up so he can open up the angle in the 6. And that, well, I would still rather been another 10 inches to a foot up the table to open the angle up in this 6 ball a bit better. And the reason being, the 7 ball goes, but you've got to get the touch right, and he's played it well. Well, 8 balls going in. He's sitting very nicely on the 1. The 2, he's going to come in behind the 5 or stun across for the 2. Yeah, he just got in behind the 5. He's hit that too hard. That's a touch like a sledgehammer, that one. I mean, he's lucky he can still see the 2. And it will cut. But he wanted to finish sort of here or there. Overhit it by about a foot. And he went for the bank instead, because that was going to give him a better line to get the cue ball running for the 3. And Slim can see enough of the 2. Well, more like pig shit hog. Good evening and welcome, or good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Well, this has still got to get on this 5 ball. And this is no good either because he's almost hooked, and he is. Well, Slim tried the jump shot earlier. I think he'll try the same thing because he's got a similar distance to jump over the 7, and he was successful the first time round. And again, he's nailed it. Gets a little bump in the 6, which I don't think's done him any favours. Well, again, he's got a thin cut into the side, cue balls running up and down the table. He's got a 6-9 combo. Yeah, no, oh, hang on a minute. Slim's done it again. What a jam he get. That's 2 flukes he's had. And Larry will not be a happy bunny. And so Slim goes into the lead. Well, he's had a roll of the ball here or there so far. He can't complain. Good evening, good afternoon to Rotor Monkey. Long time no see. Well, Slim's break was dry. Larry's got a 1-6 to start himself off here. Now let's have a look at this 2-9. The 2 doesn't go into the corner. It obviously goes into the side, but that's if you were sitting where the 5 ball is. I don't think that's going to happen. Especially where the 1 ball is at the moment. So the 7 and the 3 are the stoppers. And well, that bump on the 2 and 9 has made sure they're open, and also Larry's got the hook on Slim here. And again, the ball hasn't hit a rail, so Larry's got ball in hand. Now I wonder if he's paying attention. I don't think he is. And Larry clearly isn't paying attention because he didn't know he had ball in hand there. And that's a bit of a numpty move from Larry. Maybe he did realise he had ball in hand. I don't think he did, because he's left the 1 ball wide open anyway. So it was a poor safety. And Slim though hasn't taken advantage of it. We're talking about X Games. Haven't seen him for weeks. He's not been on at all because he's usually always sitting in the lobby. And he's certainly not been around for a while. And there was nobody, in my days off this week, there was only Casino Jim and Zach playing Cowboy. There was not enough for doubles, so I never got a game of doubles this week, which I'm disappointed at, because nobody's now playing Cowboy doubles in the morning either. I don't think I got one last week either. So Christian has beaten DJ Redo 4 racks to 1. And meanwhile, Larry, trailing by 4 racks to 3, has got to try and get up the table near that 8 ball, because the 4 ball only goes into the corner pocket and the side pockets. Well, he's come back out, and that's well controlled. I won't be around tonight. I'm in bed after this is finished. And it's only my days off that I'm in the mornings or late at night US time on Wednesday and Thursday. So Larry just needs the 8 ball, one of his last 2, and it's 4 apiece. Yes, well, considering when this tournament finishes, it's usually very close to 11 o'clock at night my time, and I've got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've got absolutely no time for any sort of game. I'm barely awake when it gets to that time of night. And at this time, about 8:30, that's usually when I start going downhill. Well, that was a good attempt by Larry at the cut and the 1. And it's going to cost him, especially if Slim can find a way to get this cue ball out onto the 2. Well, I thought he was going to maybe try and dink it for the 2-9 combo, but he's going for the run out. Quite right as well, because they're all open. Now, once again, a reminder to the latecomers, there are 3 good matches, very good matches coming up in this Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. And you can tell the part-time viewers to my live streams, because they only drop in now and again on Friday Night 9-Ball. I'm not naming names, but they're both here at the moment, and they're both from the USA. We've got Stubb against Semi-Pro tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon. If you're East Coast USA, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. If you're Pacific time, it's 1:15. And we've got Stubb against Semi-Pro on the 1 loss side, race to 13. And then on Saturday night, we've got the hot seat match for the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. And it's a USA versus United Kingdom. 1 pocket Slim against Cobra for the hot seat. Race to 19 on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon. It's round about 7 p.m. British summer time. And then on Monday night, or is it Sunday night? Tell a lie, it's Sunday night, that match. And then Monday night, we've got Larry against Nick on the 1 loss side. So 3 great matches not to be missed. But if you do miss them and you want to watch them and catch up with any of them, Slim will be doing the Stubb match tomorrow night. So if you want to watch that match at a later time, then go to 1 Pocket Slim's Twitch channel. So if you go to Twitch and just type in 1 Pocket Slim, it will find his channel and you can watch the rerun of Stubb versus Semi-Pro. Well, Slim, 3 balls away from the hill. With the help of a couple of flukes, remember. Now, we'll wait until he breaks off. I want to just do a quick tab. Well, this is definitely dry, I think. Let's just have a quick tab, check what's happening in that match with Semi-Pro and Spectre Dawn. And it's 5-3 to Semi-Pro at the moment. We might catch the end of that depending on how this one goes. Well, this is a very delicate touch, this. You're Chinese snookered over the 7 ball. You're trying to dink the 1. And Sergres survives again in the 1 loss side. Final rack decided against Popman. 4 racks to 3. Yeah, 1 Pocket Slim. One Pocket Slim, his Twitch channel. That's where the stub match will be, where if Slim goes into the VP4 commentary booth on Discord, Steve will probably join him tomorrow night. I think Steve will want to watch it. Good jump by Larry. He's a nice bump in the 2. That is not bad. And now all he has to do is avoid the 5 ball to get clean up the table here for the 3. Let's have a look at what the shot looks like. Well, he's got plenty of room to avoid the 5 ball. He's got to sort of, as he drawn to the ring, no, he's just trying to squeeze it with English to hold it so it doesn't leak away up the table. Could have done with leaking a wee bit more though, but that'll do. And he's finished inside the 4, which is still a decent enough angle. But it's how brave he's going to be to stun this in and get across for the 5. And he's not getting to it enough. He's left it short. And now the problem is, if he's cutting this, he's got to avoid running into the 9. And he's went for the cut. He's avoided the 9, but where's the cue ball going? Well, it needs to bounce around. Well, he's going to have a long cut in the 7 if he cuts this into the side. I think he's playing the cut. I don't think he's playing the bank, and this is a little tricky. And he's got it clean. Now this just needs a little dink. All you're doing is letting the weight of the cue ball come off the rail from the cut and out into the table. You're not doing anything fancy. And Semi-Pro has had a comfortable win there against Spectre Dawn, 7 racks to 3. Well, I'm surprised Larry didn't dink that in, because look what he's done. Why he didn't just dink it in dead weight, and now he's left to produce a bank. Could be his last shot if he don't get it. And this will win the rack, of course. And he's done it. Not the easiest way of doing it, but he's got it done. Oh, is that what that link was? Aye. Well, tonight we've had a German and a Dutch guy both throw the toys out the pram against Botman. You got to laugh. Right, Semi-Pro, I'm going to give you my advice right now, because I'll watch the start of this match tomorrow night. The first thing you do tomorrow night is mute Stub, right? You do not engage with them in any way whatsoever. And therefore you're completely focused on the table and the balls, and that's it. If you start engaging with Stub, you're not going to win. Tell you that right now. I've given you my advice. It's very good advice. Mute them straight away, regardless of whether Steve mutes them or not. And that way you're not distracted by catching his bullshit in the chat, and you're totally focused on the table. That's what you should be doing. Yeah, well that'll all fall by the wayside tomorrow night, because he's going to start the wind-up process as soon as he gets a snippy in the lobby. I'll tell you that right now. Well, Slim has left it on for Larry. Got to run the cue ball though. Oh, he's missed the 2. That could be a big mistake from Larry, because Slim is on the hill and is bound to be on the 3 if he doesn't hook himself behind the 6. Well, there's only one thing wrong with that suggestion, Popman, and that is if something has to be said to the players in the lobby and you're one of the players who has scrolled up the chat, you won't be able to see it if it's something important. I'm not talking about some idiot coming in and just typing crap. So that's why Semi's better off just muting Stub. And that way the chat will continue as normal in case any sort of message has to come up. Whether the room goes funny or whatever. Simple thing, mute them and don't engage with them at all. That's one thing Slim did against, who the hell was Slim playing? Was it, who did Slim beat in his last match? Well, whoever it was he beat, Slim never said a word other than good luck at the beginning. Was it Cobra? Who the hell was he playing? I've totally forgotten what's going on here. It wasn't Cobra. Well, that's the thing, Semi's his own worst enemy. He allows himself to be distracted. And well, Slim goes through with the help of a bit of luck here or there. So Larry moves over to the one lost side and we'll just duck straight out of here and we'll see if we can I'll tell a lie, I forgot that match had finished. Now let's have a look and see what's going on here. We've got Semi-Pro now up against One Pocket Slim, which is the hot seat match, and it's only 8:45. I'll tell you, it's moving rapidly tonight. We've got Larry over there on the one lost side waiting on the winner of Christian and Tommy. And Christian's getting like 5 and out, and he's 3-0. He's 3 apiece. Let's duck into that. If it isn't already just finished. Oh dear, look at what's happened here. Tommy's stuck behind the 9 ball for the match. Oh, he's sent it to the jaw. And Christian just needs to roll it in. And there you go. So Tommy didn't get good in the 9 and Christian's taken him out. 4 racks to 3. So now Larry knows who his opponent is. Sergaresh is 2-1 down against Vector Dawn. Sergaresh getting the 6 ball. We'll go in and watch that. We'll see the end of this one and then we'll move into that hot seat match because that'll still be well underway when we join it. And Spectre Dawn, well, he's got to just get nicely on this 7 so he can drop down onto the 8 on the left hand side. He doesn't want to mess about with the right side. Where's the cue ball going? Uh-oh. Well, the problem now is he's going to have to just leave this a high cut. I mean, he can't. Is he going to try and get right in behind the 9 ball? He may well be. Yes, he is. And that is perfect, apart from the fact he's straight. He's going to try and just leave the little cut. Sergaresh getting the 8 ball. We might not have much of a chance of getting to that 8 ball the way this is going. 3-1 to Spectre Dawn, needs one more. 8 ball has gone. So that is Sergaresh's money ball. And it gets respotted. one ball isn't exactly sitting great. Well, he could just do a little dink through. Is he going for the big blast cut here? I think he is. He's looking at it. Yeah. He's got it. Needs a, well, that bump on the 2 ball hasn't really improved the situation. But Spectre Dawn can try and roll right onto that 9. No, he's not picked a line at all. He needed to take a straighter line than that to drop in behind the 9. That was never the line to get there. Well, if Sergaresh has got any common sense about him, he's going to duck in behind the 7, 9 and 5. And he doesn't look as if he is though. No, he's gone all out for the cut. I mean, he's never going to run out from here, so I don't know why he didn't duck away there. Absolutely no value whatsoever potting that 2 ball. It was far easier to put Spectre Dawn in trouble. And again, Spectre Dawn, this time I think he's got it. And he's just got the cover. See, now Sergaresh is going to regret this. And he can't get a line to kick this 3 ball either. Well, good luck with this shot, that's all I'm saying. Well, he can go to the rail, loads of left English on the short rail to the side rail and try and come back across. Yeah, it's never going to work. And Stubbs arrived in the room. And Sergaresh is now going to feel the pain, apart from the fact that, well, he hasn't hooked himself. I thought he'd hooked himself. Well, this match is over, all for the sake of one decent safety shot that Sergaresh should have played, when it was pretty easy to put Spectre Dawn in a lot of trouble. And he thought he'd be brave and pot the 2 and get lucky and get on the ball. I mean, the table wasn't right for running out. It was far better for putting Spectre Dawn in trouble. And now he's going to find out the hard way why he should have done it. You've got to know your limitations. So, Spectre Dawn will survive again. So, this match is done. We'll head out. And we will head in to the hot seat match. And we've got Slim 1 rack up at the table, and he's going to be 2 racks up in the next minute. And player 2 is Semi-Pro, who's getting the last 2. Again, it doesn't matter. See, when you think about it, for guys at this level with these sort of ratings, last 2 actually is a bit like a scratch match anyway. It means absolutely nothing. You might as well call it a scratch match, because if they get down to the last 2 and they only have to pot 1 of them, the odds are very likely that they're going to be doing that. They're going to be getting on that ball. And the only way it wouldn't happen is if the 9 and 8 were locked together. So 2-0 to Slim. and these two guys are of course involved in matches over the weekend in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. And I'm beginning to yawn. So Slim's break was dry. Semi with a shot in the 1, he's on the 2, 3-ball middle of the table, 4-ball over the side, and possibly, more likely, a 5-9 combo. But it all hinges on how good he gets in the 4 as to whether he decides he's going to go up top side of the 5. Their Stubb started it already. I told him. Stubb started already, trying to get inside Semi's head. Well, I think he didn't try to bump the 8, I don't think, but in the end it might not have done him any harm. So the 5-9 to get off the mark. And it goes. Ball on the side. And not really a lot of opportunity with the 1-ball. That 1-ball may well cut though. The 2-ball has gone in the rake, so the problem with cutting the 1 is you're heading way down the table from the 3-ball, so he's trying to duck into the corner. This looks good. That is nasty. I like that. Because there's no way he's jumping that. So Slim is going to have to get creative here if he's going to get anywhere near this 3-ball. And nowhere near it, and a scratch. So this is the reward for a good tight safety. You get ball in hand. First problem, well, it's not really a problem because the 4-ball goes past the 7. He just has to get good in the 3. Just a straight roll through. And we should have a tied ball game, as they say in the States. Well, going to get the cue ball running. Nice pace. Perfect on the 8-ball. Drop the 9 into the side. And we're 2-all. Yeah, I've still got a 4-second delay on YouTube. I just counted it there. One ball into the side. Cue ball catches in the knuckle of the side pocket, which will work fine because you can see enough of the 2, I think, to cut it. Got to go. Well, I don't know whether he wants to drop it in dead weight because there's a danger of hooking himself behind the 6, but he's bumped the 6, and that will work. So a straight roll in the 6, well, a quick tab just to see how things are going over here. We've got Christian against Larry, and Christian and Larry are 2 apiece at the moment. And of course the winner will play Spectre Dawn. Well, this is just a wee bit annoying, but he'll roll straight into the 9. Just bump it out of the way. I know he's stunned back. I don't think there was any harm in rolling into the 9. So, Semi getting the last 2. Just needed that 8 ball to take the lead. 3-2. And it's dry. And Slim has a shot in the 1. Now, he might just have to take his medicine here and bring the cue ball around this side for a cut in the 2. Up into that corner. I mean, he can just drop it in. And he's fine. That'll do nicely. So now he can go across the table. He's got a nice angle to cut the 2, cross 2 rails, back in behind the 3. Put it down into this corner pocket. Or is it going into the side? Well, what am I talking about? Plenty of room into the side. And a very quick 4-9 combo for the rack. I mean, this is... and he's as good as he's ever going to be on it. This is pretty nigh unmissable. Just a nice pace. And well, there you go, unmissable, but he's stunned it firm. As soon as it catches the jaws, it's never given it a chance to go in. Well, I would have said he was odds on to get that. And now Semi's looking at maybe the billiard onto the 5, onto the 9. I think that's what he's doing. Yep, and it goes. Well, that's a big miss by Slim, because now there's daylight between the 2. 4-2 lead. I wonder, I mean, Steve's joined the room. I wonder if he's in Discord. Let me tab out for a second. I don't know whether he is or he isn't. We'll find out whether he is. Back in a second. You're not missing anything. I'm just having a quick look. If he's there, he's there. If he isn't, he's just having a look in to see how things are going. No, he's not. That's fine. I can tab back out. Shut that down. Right. So, Christian has taken out Larry by 4 racks to 2. So, Spectre Dawn is now playing Christian. And then the winner of that match will play the loser of this match. Snooker, what? Snooker World Championship announced. Where was that announced? I don't know what you're talking about, Larry. So Slim trailing by 2, but about to be back within 1. Oh, that cue ball's going to catch the other side. Oh, I thought it was going to get in the other side pocket. But it stays on the table, but the break is dry. Semi-pro has a 1 ball and a 2 ball over the pocket, 3 ball over the pocket, 4 ball over the side, 5 ball into this bottom corner, and then the problem starts. He's trying to get a bump in the 6 and get lucky and still have a shot in the 2. He had the right idea. And he might try it again, but this is a bit crazy if he did. Now, I don't think this is a good enough angle to get much in it out the end of them. I think he's just going to run around out. Yeah, used to miss the 9. Well, it's caught the 9, but it's not done any harm. Now he could get crazy. He could get really crazy and try and come around and bump these, but he hasn't. And now he's bumped to 5, and I don't know that that's great. But you can dig in and bring the cue ball across and hope you get lucky. And that's a decent enough line. But he didn't get the hit now. Again, he's looking at a possible billiard. I don't know whether he's got enough room. He could touch and go. It looks as if he's playing the billiard onto the 7. He could be trying to make the bank. No, he's just running for cover. But he hasn't got it. And that 6 ball's comfortably off the rail for the long bedhead cut. Now Slim might be hoping he bumps into the 7. I mean, it couldn't really do him much harm if he did, but if he misses the 7, then he'll be looking at it into the same pocket. And he should be fine. April 21st. Why did, I mean, are you talking about the tournament's been set? Ah, right. Well, why didn't he just copy the last one? That's the simplest way of doing it. And it should be a lag for the break. I mean, they have, in professional snooker over here, they toss a coin, but in VP4 it should be the lag. So 4 apiece. And 1 pocket Slim is looking good to take the lead here. But again, this just needs to be a well-controlled shot, going 2-3 rails if possible. And he's dropping nicely onto the 6. So we'll give him this rack. I'll have a quick tab. Well, that match with Christian and Spectre Dawn, first rack seems to be taking a bit of a while. Maybe Spectre Dawn had a bit of a delay before he got in the room. I would think that would be more the case, but It looks like Christian's getting 5 and out again. I think he's getting 5 and out against anybody who plays left in this tournament. He's certainly getting the use of that handicap. And in the race to 4 it comes in very handy. Meanwhile, well, that starting date for the tournament's right in the middle of the Snooker World Championships, which is the right time it should be played at. So Slim's little run continues. He's got a ball in the break, he's got a cut in the 1, and the cue ball is travelling nicely across the table for the 2 into this bottom left. The problem then starts with the 3 ball, because the 3 ball doesn't go, and he's not got himself in the 2, which is a big fail. I don't know how he managed to do that. I thought he could not be in the 2, but he somehow managed not to do it. And semi-pro trying to duck behind the 5 and 3 here, I would assume, because you can't go the other way, I don't think. This is a bit short, he just hasn't got the legs. I had to laugh about that parole hearing with, did any of you hear about that parole hearing with that Oscar Pistorius, him that murdered his girlfriend, the athlete? There wasn't an awful lot of serious talk about getting that done. I don't know whether he has or he hasn't. I haven't noticed anything different. I mean, all the results come through for the tournament that we're watching. And Slim's run looks as if it's going to take him to the hill here as well. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's okay. So I think this is a run of, what is it? 3 racks at least. Or getting on for 3 racks. Might be a bit straight. Yeah, that's well done. So a little roll into the side, and he'll be 1 away from the final. And it's only 9:15. Well, I'm going to get an early night tonight. I'm all for that. You didn't get a snooker announcement? No. Well, if it did, I never saw it. No. Is it in the lobby? Well, I presume it is in the lobby. How the hell do I get to the lobby again? Hang on. No, I didn't see anything like that come up in the room. I think I would have noticed that because I'm looking for results going through the tournament. Let's have a look. Oh, it's come up twice. Oh, let's see. Races to 6, losers to 4. That's too short. And the 1 lost side, race to 4. So it is. I mean, you can tell I wasn't involved in setting that. But I mean, that. Well, the only saving grace is it'll be over quick. Races to 4 and the 1 lost side. Now, I think it should have been race to 6 and the 1 lost side as well. Final race to 9. We'll bring back the good old days of VP3. It was all or nothing when I did it. None of this half-hearted short race crap. No, nothing like that come up in the room, Larry. So maybe he has done what you said. I'm still tabbed into the lobby. How do I get out of that again? Wait a minute. Yeah, if I scroll up, I never saw anything like that in any of the other rooms we was in. Well, semi-pro can take this all the way. But he's definitely dry. And once again, look at the way this cue ball's sitting in the one. And this match is over. Semi-pro knows he's played his last shot there. He's heading over to the one loss side. Well, does that not mean that aye, when you said that, Larry, Steve shut off global messages in tournament room, was that something that was requested? Because if it isn't something that was requested, then in that case, then it's broken. Because it never came up in the room. And we'll need to ask him. Slim can ask him tomorrow night if he's in with him watching the stub match with semi-pro. Well, he's run into the 7 ball. He's got a little cut on it. He's got to control the pace. And he's checked it up just to hold the line on it. And now he's got this match in the bag. But Steve didn't like global messages coming up in the room. I thought it was certain players that didn't like them. Anyway, Slim marches on. Semi-pro is heading over to the one loss side now very quickly. We need to... What the hell am I doing here? I need to get back to that bracket. And we need to nip in as quick as we can and catch what's happening in this one loss side match with Christian. And, well, it's over. Well, that's resolved. Right, so now Semi-Pro is playing Spectre Dawn. Semi-Pro, of course, going for the revenge match with Slim. And the room is up. We'll get ourselves straight in. Probably, well, Semi-Pro's keen to get going. Spectre Dawn will probably wait another couple of minutes. So in that case then, it's working as how it should be. Is that what we're saying? Now that the global messages don't come up in the room. I wonder if they come up in a player's room. And is this global message not come up at all when you're in a room? I don't know. I don't care either. If you look at Spectre in the bracket. Oh, that number thing, that bug's been here for a long while. Steve, I don't think he knows what's wrong with it. And he's just leaving it well alone. It'll fix itself anyway when the bracket changes, I think. So here we go, scratch match, no handicap, 8 ball gets kicked in, 3 ball goes in. Semi-pro having won the lag, he's going to have to play the cut on the 1, either onto the 6 or into the left corner. Now if he plays it into the left corner, he's going to have to play a decent shot to get on the 4, and that wasn't it. He should have went the other way, he should have cut that onto the 6. Because at that pace he was always going to be a hook behind the 7. And he's just gifted an opportunity for Spectre Dawn to pinch this first rack. Now that 6 ball looks fairly tight. It's off the rail. Right, see you later, Mark. Thanks for joining us. I don't know when he typed that. he's maybe already in his bed. Now, this can be a little jabby dink, or you can just try and kill it like that. But you see, I would have jabby dinked that so the cue ball wasn't leaking inside like that, because it just makes the pot that bit more awkward. But he seems quite comfortable to believe in stuff like this, but I certainly wouldn't like it. And he's avoided the collision with the 9, and he's perfect. So, maybe the wrong shot choice there with semi-pro. It certainly backfired on him, and it's cost him the first rack. And this one, again, sounds dry, but the 2 ball goes in at the last kick. And again, it looks like a dodgy cut in the 1. Well, there's a chance of a 2-in-1 shot here, cutting the 1 in and certainly colliding with the 6. If not, billiarding the 6 in. And he's dragged the cue ball off that 1 ball to avoid that collision. And now he's fairly straight in the 3. Now you can force this in and squeeze it around the angles, I think. But you'd have to send it to the left jaw if you're going to risk doing that. I mean, it's not to stop him just rolling it in and playing the 4 on the side. As long as he goes far enough into the pocket with the cue ball, that way he's not interfering with 8. And I think he's got it. Yep, that is fine. So it's all looking good to stretch the lead here. Only a short race to 4, so semi-pro better go on his toes. So again, the winner of this match goes through to play 1 pocket slim in this week's Friday night 9-ball final. And at the moment, Spectre Dawn is certainly in the hot seat as far as that goes. So semi-pro is praying for a dry break here, and at least the chance of a shot if he gets to the table. Well, this one definitely seems dry, but there's an immediate mess on the table here. He's got a thin cut in the 1. He's not going to be great in the 2. And you've got a whole cluster of balls there on the left-hand side. And he's went for the old heave-ho. And he's got the breakout, but it might all backfire on him. Because I don't think he can get enough of the 2. He's having to spin this. Yeah, he's fouled the 6. And he's given Spectre Dawn the ball in hand opportunity to get to the hill. There's the cue ball going. Oh, just caught the point, no more. Well, he's going to be hampered now over the 7, and this just adds to the difficulty. There's no shot as easy when you're over another ball. He's run into the 9. I don't think it's done him any harm though. That'll come in very handy. So it's a big ask now for semi-pro. He might not get to the table again. Eight ball in the side, something in the bottom right, something in the bottom left, which might have been the 1 ball. The 2 ball though is not great. It's not a bank because I don't think there's enough room past the 9. It looks too tight. No, it isn't. It will go, but he's trying to push it behind that 7 and 6. Well, this is a tricky little shot. This needs very good touch on the edge of this 2 ball. You catch that too thick, you're bringing it into play, and that he's just got there, I think. I mean, there's an edge of the 2 shown, but I don't think there's enough of the edge to pot it. So he's trying to kick it in. So a 2-in-1 shot, because he was heading in the right direction to go on the 3, but at least he's got distance and he's also got the hook. Full ball snooker. And it looks like the 9 ball's in the way on the left hand side. Yeah, he was never getting near that 2 ball. And so, well, the 7 ball's bumped to 6, but I don't think it's done any harm. Ball in hand for Spectre Dawn for the match. Up onto the 3, 6 into the side. Can't see where this will go wrong. Well, why did he have to do that? Surely the 6 ball went in clean anyway. Oh, I forgot about the 4. That's what it is. That's why I've got myself confused. Right, you got to remember I'm falling asleep here. So, it's a clean sweep for Spectre Dawn. He beat Semi-Pro 4-0. And he goes on to tonight's final. So it's just gone half past the hour, 9:30. We've got a final between the UK and the USA. One Pocket Slim against Spectre Dawn. Race to 9. And we're in. We're looking for an early night here, folks. So the tournament's been on for 2.5 hours, which is very quick for a Friday night 9 ball, considering it was a full house. But as I said earlier, those 7-1 wins, those 2 or 3 7-1 wins, it made for quick matches, and it's got the tournament moving through rapidly. And we're just waiting on both of them arriving. And Slim is in. I'll have a quick drink. We'll have the lag for the break. So again, a final reminder, tomorrow night is the match on the one loss side between Real Poland Power Stub against Semi Pro, race to 13. It starts at 9:15 British Summer Time, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time, 1:15 Pacific, 2:15 Mountain Time or Central Time or whatever the hell they call it. And wherever else you are in the world, I don't know what time it is. But well worth a watch, and you can watch it with commentary on One Pocket Slim's Twitch channel. I wish Spectre Dawn would get a move on and get in and get on with it. I'm ready for bed. As soon as my head hits the sack, I'm gone. Nobody ever told me what was happening in that snooker tonight. It's probably all over now. Anyway, players are all in. One Pocket Slim on the right hand side. Lag for the break. Race to 9. And Spectre Dawn is getting the 8 ball. Looks a close lag. Well, it was all over before it finished. One Pocket Slim won the lag. So off we go. 6 ball thought about it. 4 ball thought about it. Caught the cue ball and pushed it into the hole. So scratch straight away in the break. Wide open table. 1-0 to Spectre Dawn. Well, that's my dinner catching up with me now, and also the time of night catching up with me, because I am rapidly going downhill here fast. The eyes are struggling to stay open. Well, my left eye is struggling to stay open, the other one won't close. Well, he's got to get good in this, because he's stuck to the rail again. He's given himself more work to do here to go on this 7. Not quite as clean cut as it looks. No, he's ended up fluking the 6. Well, there you go. How's that one for you, Slim? There's one in the eye for you. That's Larry getting his revenge through Spectre Dawn. How do you like them apples? So Slim getting a taste of his own medicine there. Oh, this time Spectre Dawn's handed it straight back to Slim, scratching the break. And wide open table. Well, you know what to do, Slim. This is what you have to do in that hot seat match against Cobra. Anything like this, they've all got to go. So just a little draw off the 3, I would think. Leave that cut in the 4. And now is the little testy one, because you know it's all so simple to cut the 4 in. It's not quite clear cut as to how good you're going to end up in the 5. The 5 will go past the 7 that side, but you don't really want to be there. Well, he's trying to get there. He's got the pace pretty much dead on. He couldn't have ended up playing that any better. And a nice enough angle to work with. Well, once again though, he's going to have to work the cue ball. Now he's got to be careful he doesn't do anything daft and go into the side pocket. He's just played the big stun, which was the safest way to go about it. Now he's got to decide whether he's going left or right of the 8 ball. Now this is the wider zone, and it's where the cue ball wants to go, and because of that he's completely taken his eye off the 7 ball. It's off the rail, and you know, nothing to do with the cue ball here other than pot the 7 and let it run, as long as you don't scratch. He's well away from that, and he's perfect. So, of course, just the 8 ball for Spectre Dawn gives him the rack, and a 2 rack swing straight away there, because it should have been all square. And it's 2-0. And a couple of balls in the break. I think one of them was a 9 into the right side. It's going to have to be a 1-8 combo. And this is, he's got to be careful with this as well, because he doesn't want to be hooked behind the 5, and he's made sure of that. And that's it. What am I talking about? It's a 1-9 combo, wasn't it? I'm definitely falling asleep because there's nothing computing in my head here. I am gone. And suddenly it's 3-0. So that's 7 racks in a row that Spectre Dawn has won. All 4 in that one lost side match with semi-pro, and the first 3 in this one. And a little dinky 2-7 combo, just keep the 2 over the pocket. Now a little duck out behind the 8 ball if he can. I think he can, just spin it out. And I suppose the only tricky one is the 5, because the 5 is very tight past the 8. You need to get crazily good on that 5 to even have any thought of putting it into that corner. Let's see what he does. Just trying to get below it, and that will do. That is well done. And he's got to be careful of the side pocket with this cue ball. The commentator's eye thought it would be close, and it was close. But everything's good now. The only thing he can do is hook himself behind the 9. The only thing he can do is hook himself behind the 9. Commentator's eye called that as well. He's going to have to get the jump stick out. Should be fine though. Oh, and he's went off the table, which is the other danger. So, handed on a plate. And it's 4-0. And it's all going disastrously wrong here for Slim. Six ball goes in, 2 ball goes in, and it's a 1-9 combo for 5-0. He's got to play the combo, I would think. I mean, it's not, there's nothing dead set on it. Oh, well, man, it looks ugly from this side, I have to say. Why not have a go at it, considering that the 5 and 4 are tied up? I'd be having a go at this. or a billiard, one of the two, and they tried the billiard. I think it was perfectly reasonable to have a go at that because of these two balls tied up. Now the one ball does go. And it does go past the 8. He can cheat the pocket. And that might be going to the rail too soon. Oh, it just went in. And now he's nowhere near good in the 3. He could play a billiard onto the 8, but the 3 ball's going up table onto this top rail. Or heading in that direction anyway. And now I'm not quite sure what he played. Now, it looks like the big duck for cover up the table. Trying to get in behind the 7. Oh, just as well he didn't fluke the 5 because he's nailed it behind the 7. That's well played. A good shot. Nice touch. And now, of course, with the 5 ball over the pocket, Slim's got to get a hit and get lucky. And that was really... Oh, he might get another go at it. He might get another go. No, he hasn't. Well, the billiard onto the 5 looks simple enough. But where's the 4 going? And that might go round behind the 7. Or it might just end up like that. Pretty straight into the corner. Well, it's going to be 5-zip. And it's 9 racks in a row for Spectre Dawn. Long way back now for Slim. Well, it's dry, but it's going to have to be a 3-ball combo for Slim to get underway here. He's got the 1-5, and I think that's the 8. No, it's a 1-3. And it just caught the knuckle. And that's why it killed the 8 ball over the pocket. Oh dear. Well, oh, I forgot that was the 8, wasn't it? That's his money ball. Well, that's a very quick rack. 6-0. And it's, with the greatest of respect to Slim, it's heading the right direction as far as I'm concerned, because I can get to my bed earlier. So it's now 10 racks in a row in Spectre Dawn's last 2 matches in this tournament. 10 racks without reply. Well, I think if you're still there, Pop Man, we're going to blame you because you're the one that typed Slim's a class act right up there with Cobra, and he's getting gubbed 6-0 and it's heading for 7. Because you put the mockers on him with that comment. We've got a 7-9 combo sitting here that nobody can miss. And it's now 11 in a row. Well, Slim is going to get his chance, and he's going to have to jump for the 1 ball. He's not getting an easy start, and he's going to have to let this roll out and get a sighting or 2 into the side, and then he's got a. He might have to just roll through here. I don't know whether he's going to have an awful lot of options. Well, he can cut it in. Yeah, he just had to roll through. Now, has he rolled through far enough? I don't think he has. I think he's shot. He's going to have to tweak it. Bit of right English. And that was well done. Still not good, although the cut back into the side will certainly get him up the table and back down, but when he's going the other way, he's taking a more difficult shot to try and give him some sort of decent sight on this 5. Because cutting the 4 in that way was not great, and it was a much more difficult shot he tried. He'll settle for that though. A little bit of roll of the ball. And in turn, Spectre Dunn will settle for that too, because this is horrible. Trying to duck behind that 9 and 8. Oh, that's too much of an enticement. There's enough of it showing for the cut. But again, Spectre Dawn's got the same problem. I mean, he can cut the 4. How he's going to be in the 5, nobody knows. He's trying to drop into the spot. I think he's, oh, if it bumps 8, he's laughing. That's excellent. He'll take that. That's a nice little hit. Well, it's going to be 12 in a row in the next minute. Well, I'm so glad that you're losing all these racks at the moment, Slim, because that gets all of that out of your system for the match with Cobra. So, Spectre Dawn on the hill. Again, another ball in the break, 1 or 2 in the break, I'm not sure. Well, there's certainly 2 now, the 5's going into the side. So, the 3 ball has gone, 5's gone. He's got to duck behind the 2 and 7 here. He's going for the cut and the breakout. And it hasn't worked out. At least he's freed up the 7 and 8. 6 ball still upward. And he's not got a great bank in the 2, so he's just rolling up to it. Now we can get tip for tap for 10 minutes. This might be the longest rack of the match. Slim's trying to get, well, a sort of 2 in 1 shot there, and I think he's fine as far as not letting Spectre Dawn see enough to cut the 2. And he's trying to get the thin edge in the 2 and get as far away from it as possible. And now, oh well, this is tough. Slim's got a choice here. He can go for the thin cut. He could try the bank, but I'm not sure the line's good. You'd have to try and get the cue ball away from that. It's not good for the bank. He's got the cut. He's got a shot on the 4. And immediately, he's going to have to probably just draw back and play this long. He needs to keep coming, though he's left it short. I don't believe he's played it for the bank, has he? I think he was trying to get behind that. But he's got the bank. only Slim will know what he played there. But at least he's getting rid of the bagel. Well, seven or more breaking runs will do Slim nice. And that's put the mockers on that straight away because he's come up dry. And this is what Spectre Dawn does so good. I mean, he's on the two. What's the angle like? See, the harder you hit this, the more likely you are going to catch that 7. Now, he could get right into it, but see, this 6 ball is just annoying. Well, he's took the hit in the 7. He's quite happy to leave this awkward cut at distance. You know, he's not trying to do anything elaborate. He's just perfectly happy being able to see the 3 and content to play the cut. I mean, it's not easy, but he does get an awful lot of these, no problem. And straight into the heart of the pocket. And it needs to keep opening out. Now again, with this shot, he can just stun this in and come back off it, and he'll still have a cut in the 5. He doesn't need to get elaborate with it. Just like that. And that now gives him all sorts of choices where he wants to go. I mean, if you tweak this with spin, you can go 1, 2, 3 and out for the 6. And he's just content to leave it into the side. Well, now it's sort of in between. It's in between. He's looking at it in the side. He's got he's got a full pocket into the side. So it shouldn't be any problem. And this match is over because it's just a push through in the 7 onto the short rail, onto the side rail, 8 ball into the top, or into this corner pocket for the match. Well done to Spectre Dawn. A whole bucket load of racks he's had in the last 2 matches. It's a 9-1 win for Spectre Dawn and another Friday night 9-ball tournament. Well done to him, and good luck to Slim against Stubb tomorrow night. I'll be there for the first 45 minutes, and that will be on not Slim. Good luck to Semi-Pro and Stubb. Slim is going to be streaming that match tomorrow night at 9:15 British Summer Time, 4:15 Eastern and 1:15 Pacific. So that is it, folks. Thanks for those who stayed with us. I'm off to bed. Remember these matches over the weekend and on Monday. We've got the one lost side match between Larry and Nick on Monday night. That'll be good to watch as well. I'll be there for that one. And I'll also be there for the hot seat match with Cobra and Slim on Sunday night. So until then, take care. Thanks again. And we'll bid you good night, folks. And see you again soon.